to invite you to come to a comfortable seated position, sitting in what was called Sukhasana, or the easy pose. My hips are slightly tilted forward, which allows me to keep my knees slightly lower than my hips, although I'm also sitting on cushions to support that, which allows me to have this long spine. And to ensure that the length occurs all the way up to the crown of the head, there's a slight tilt of the chin. And then let your shoulders relax downward. As you arrive to this moment, take a moment to close your eyes and set an intention for this practice today to be as present as possible. And we're going to chant Om 3 times to connect through sound vibration. So with your next inhalation, Om. 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 Our theme today is on the 4 seasons. As we come towards the end of summer with the blazing heat, we recognize that seasons change. They come and they go, and they represent the continuity of all life, that there are beginnings and endings. The consistency of what life is change. And as we navigate through our days from morning till night and then back again to morning, or from weeks, Sunday to Saturday, or months or years, we are constantly perceiving this ongoing change. And it is when we can accommodate change, acknowledge that change is in our life, that we are able to reduce stress in our life, because we know that difficult times will pass, as well as joyous times, and that each moment that we have available to us offers us beauty in our life's presence. So for our warm-ups, we're going to begin with the spring, sense of spring, and we'll begin by bringing our arms out and letting our wrists roll gently in one direction, as if waking up from the winter months and starting to stir and reawaken and come to life. And from moving our wrists and arms, we're going to bring our fingers onto our shoulders and let our elbows move forward, back, down, and around to open up the shoulders. As we move forward with these elbows, we're opening up the back of the body, the upper back. And when we reverse, we start to open up the chest, the muscles that constrict or allow flexibility of our chest and our shoulder blades. And we'll let our hands rest down to the side. So one hand to the mat, the other hand rising up as if shoots in springtime, rising, raising to the potential of life in springtime, opening up the side body as we continue to breathe. And then let that arm come down and the other arm raises up high to the sky. Another shoot rising in this spring energy, feeling ourselves opening up, blossoming to the potential of life. Breathing as we allow the stretch to occur. And then letting that arm coming down, hands to your hips, imagining that we are now rolling our hips in one direction, imagining that we are like the gentle waters of spring mountain coming down from the mountain, gently rolling. And you can do this gently high up or come more deeply into your circles, allowing those hips to wake up. And then coming back in the opposite direction, gently warming up, feeling the sits bones as you lean from side to side. And then straightening your legs if they're not already so, letting them float gently side to side, almost as if they were windshield wipers, letting spring rain move off to the side, taking all this in as renewal of life. And then from this spring feeling, we're going to move into the summer by coming to a standing position, moving and preparing for sun salutations. Look, coming up to the mat, starting out in mountain pose, palms facing forwards to open up your chest. Hips are above your knees, knees above the ankles, feeling the strength of your individual power. As we work through 12 postures that are gliding from one to the next in the sun salutation, which is a warm-up, a tonic for the entire body, especially the spine. So position 1 begins in prayer, grateful for the day, bringing our palms together in front of our heart space. Position 2 is upward bend, lifting our arms up to the skies alongside our ears, lifting our face upward, gentle arch to the upper back. Position 3, as you exhale, keeping a flat back, reach your arms forward and downward into forward fold, allowing your face to look gently at your knee. Your neck is nice and long. Position 4 is lunge. Bend your knees and place your hands on the floor. Step your left knee backwards and let the left knee down in this time. And then lift your chest forward as if you were looking as to get ready for the race of the day. Position 5 is downward dog, placing your hands on the mat, tucking the toes under from the back leg. Step the right leg to meet the left, and then lift the hips far back and upward to the sky, creating an inverted V. Pressing into the palms of your hands to see if you can press your chest closer to the mat. Maybe your ears move slightly closer to your arms. Then lift up on the balls of your feet and lower your heels gently towards the floor. Position 6 is caterpillar, allowing your knees to come to the mat. Keep your hips raised as you lower your chest and chin to the floor, as if you were a caterpillar inching along during the summer. Moving into position 7, cobra, allowing your hips to lower to the floor, and then raise your chest, your chin, and your face. Your shoulder blades are coming together as your elbows hug the sides of your body. Going into position 8, returning to downward dog. Hips raising up high, pressing into the hands, stretching both the arms and the legs in this inverted V. Position 9, lunge. Stepping, letting the right knee come to the floor as you step the left leg forward. Finding the knee above your ankle, and then raising your chest and your face. Feeling that deep stretch along the back leg as you let your pelvis come forward and down. Tucking your toes under the back leg, step the back leg forward as you come into position 10, forward fold. Let your head look down again towards your knees. Position 11, upward backward bend, raising your arms out to the side, lifting your entire body up, hands alongside your ears, lifting your face to the sky, gentle upward back bend. Position 12, palms in front of your heart space. And then rest back into the mountain pose, taking a moment to notice your heartbeat, to notice the warmth of your body, feeling the effects of the summer sun. We're going to go through this again with another round. This time we will stay in high lunge versus letting the knee come down, and we're moving down to the mat from plank position versus caterpillar. So coming again to the front of your mat, Finding your mountain pose. Inhale, exhale into prayer pose. With an inhalation, lift your arms forward, up alongside your ears. Gentle upward back bend. With your next exhalation, hinge forward, keeping a flat back. Letting your arms, head coming down into your forward fold. Bend your knees, placing your hands on the back. Right leg comes back into high lunge. Perhaps using blocks if needed to lift your body up, looking into that runner's position. Position 5, downward dog. Hips come far up back. Feeling that pressure in the hands as you bring your inner rotation to the upper arms. Position 6, plank. Shifting your weight forward, your shoulders now over your wrists, over your hands, keeping your body strong and lean. Position 7, bringing the elbows close to the body, lowering the chest to the floor, and then lifting up the head, the chin, and the chest into cobra. Pressing back into those hands, coming back up to downward dog, position 8. Stepping the right leg forward into a high lunge. Using blocks perhaps to lift the upper body up. And position 10, stepping forward into your forward fold. Let your face release, let your neck release. Then bring your arms up alongside the body, lifting your hands to the sky, gentle back bend. And position 12, prayer position in front of the heart space. And release. From here, we're going to go into a standing posture, a balancing posture first, called the stork pose. So taking your awareness, shoulders are over the hips, hips are over the ankles. Lean into one side, into your left side, let's say. Once you have your arms, your weight on that left side, bring your arms out to the side as if they were the birds of a stork. And then we're going to lift that front leg up. Knee is bent, starting with your posture here. Holding your balance by looking at some place that you can keep a steady eye. This is called the distri. And then when you're ready, lowering down both arms and the leg. Shift your weight to the opposite side, shoulder over hip over ankle. Find a place to focus as your arms lift up, and then raise the other knee and the other leg. If you lose your balance, just consider it as if you were riding a wave on your surfboard, going with the flow. And then when you're ready, lowering both to the floor. So with that posture, let's move from the season of summer into the season of fall by coming down onto your mats and lying on your abdomen. So we're going to remove again any props that are there by the side. As you come down to your mat, we're going to begin in the posture called Advasana, which is a prone resting position where you cross your hand, bend your elbows, cross your hands. You can rest your chin or your cheek on the hands. And let's take a few moments here to breathe deeply. We've just done some postures that may have raised our body temperature. And in Advasana, we can then begin to use the breath to help regulate the energy system of our body. So begin to slow down your breath. When by that I mean take a long inhale, but even a longer exhale, slowing the breath down. As you begin to slow your breath down and slow the exhalation down, notice how your heartbeat begins to slow down as well. If you've had your head turned one direction on one cheek, lift your head up now and turn it to the opposite side, continuing to breathe deeply with these long, deep Dirghasvasana breaths. And notice how breath is three-dimensional. The front of the body, the sides of the body, the back of the body. Allow your breath to flow. And now let's bring the chin to the mat. Your arms are going to come out into a V shape. So from your shoulders, your hands are going to come out, but then slightly downward towards your hips. Bring your legs as close together as possible. Your feet are, and heels are even going to come close together. And the fronts of your feet should be on your mat. We're going to come into the boat pose. The center of awareness to begin with is your pelvis. So the pelvis is where you're going to have the center of the gravity for your boat pose. And we're going to begin by raising the back legs together. So lifting both feet up from your upper thighs is where the lift is coming from. And once you have the back legs up, then begin to lift the chest, the shoulders, the arms, and the head, holding it. You may even notice a gentle rocking of your boat. See if you can keep your legs high as you raise the front of your boat as well. This is an energizing pose. And to come out, lower your chin, chest, and feet to the floor. And then bring your hands to the sides of the body. Press yourself up and back into child's pose. As you come back into child's pose, your knees are wide on side of the mat. Your toes come together to touch. And then you're going to bring your hips back towards your heels. Your hands can either be resting in front of you with your head resting on the mat, or if that's not comfortable to have your arms out in front of you, feel free to bring them along the sides of the body as well. Just as in fall, seeds are beginning to come to earth, curling up. Child's pose gives us a place to rest and to re-nurture in our souls what we may have used up. And from here, press your hands back in the mat, bringing yourself back up into tabletop position. And then let your hip come to the side of the mat as we come into a forward fold. We're moving into a wide-legged forward fold. So you want to stretch your legs out as wide as comfortable while maintaining a long spine. And we're going to begin by first coming to one leg and then the other leg to have a deeper stretch on the inner side. So you're going to begin by twisting towards one leg, raising your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, keep a flat, long back. Reach your arms out over that leg or thigh, and then either reaching your toes or your ankles. Once you have reached your limit, you maybe notice your hip rising from the floor, the opposite hip rising. Relax your face, relax your shoulders. Let your head and neck come downward, as if you were surrendering. Imagine a cooling autumn breeze, softening into the late afternoon, early evening, enjoying the bounty of the day. As we rest in this posture, our legs begin to relax, lengthening the muscles, increasing our flexibility. And we have a gentle compression to the abdominal organs, helping with our digestion. Continuing to breathe long exhalations. And to come out of this posture, release your hands towards your toes, stretching a little bit more deeply, and then raising them up to the heavens. And then twist gently now in the opposite direction. Inhale, and as you exhale, let your hands reach forward and downward as you keep a flat back. So you want the back nice and long, especially the lower back. And when the lower back reaches its spot where you can feel that it cannot go any further, then lower the upper back, relaxing the chest, the shoulders, your face. And as you breathe, notice the stretch to the back of the body as well as to your hamstrings. Allow the breath to flow, exhalation longer than the inhale. Slowing down. And as you're ready to come out, release your hands towards your knees, stretching, coming back all the way back up to the sky. Hands then come down to the sides of your body and bring your legs together in front of you. And take a moment now to bend your right knee, bringing the right knee towards your chest. And as you bring the right knee towards your chest, you're going to cross that right foot over the leg. The right foot remains solidly on the ground as we prepare for a twist. Hands are going to come out to the sides of your body. We're going to begin to swivel to the right. So the right arm is coming behind you and it's going to rest on the floor. Your left hand is going to rest on the knee, or even the right elbow onto your knee as you twist a little bit more from your waist, your chest, and your shoulders. Let your face turn as far as it can to the right. Imagining perhaps the way vines have gone from the summer to the fall, marked with beautiful colorings, changing into yellow and red and gold. These twisty vines, at this time of the year, perhaps making grapes that will be used in our food and beverages, producing bounty. And to come out of this twist, bring your face back to center first, then lifting both arms back out into a T position. Allow your hands to come to the mat, and then release that leg and let it come all the way out in front of you. Bending the opposite knee, bringing it towards your chest. Once you have it as close to the chest as comfortable, crossing that left foot over the right, the foot is solidly on the floor. Hands are going to come out again to the T, but we're going to twist this time to the left, starting from the waist. And as you twist, that left hand comes to the floor behind you. The right arm either comes hand on the knee or elbow on the knee as you continue to twist from the waist, the chest, the shoulders, and then perhaps the face. Wringing out all the toxins that may have built up in our body, releasing them down into the earth. Just as the produce of the summer is now being released from the vines or the trees, reaching their bounty, letting go. And then to come out of the twist, bring your head back to center first. Reach the arms up to the sides, let your hands come down, and then we're going to uncross that leg. And we're going to turn so that you are resting on vertical or perpendicular or in parallel with your mat. Knees are bent, soles of your feet on the floor, hands come out in front of you, using your abdominal strength, slowly lower backwards, rolling down vertebra by vertebra. And we're going to come into an inversion on the floor. So in this inversion, we're going to bring our legs up to the sky. Both feet are raised up to the sky as if they were a candle. Toes can gently move forward and back as if the candle is flickering in the evening. As autumn comes, the days are growing a little bit shorter. We can enjoy the evening with candlelight, maybe beautiful produce meal from the harvest, spending time with family and friends. As our feet are raised into this asana, the queen of all asanas, the blood is reversing from the lower legs back to the heart. The heart is having a chance to rest. It takes about 3 minutes for the blood to circulate through the body. If you desire, you can come out wide-legged here as we did in our forward fold, letting your legs come out wide for a few moments, feeling the stretch in the inner thigh, the strength of your glutes and buttocks. And as you're ready, bring your legs back to center again one more time, creating a new candle flickering in the wind. And then using your abdominal strength, let your legs nice and long, lower the legs towards the mat, letting the heels come down slowly and gently with control. And from this posture, once we're all the way down, we're going to come into our last posture for the evening called fish pose. You're going to bring your palms and bring them along each side of your thigh. So the palm is resting into the sides, and then become aware of your elbows. So your hands are very tightly glued to the sides of the body. You're going to press into your elbows, lifting the upper half of your body. Once the upper half of your body, so from your hips up to the shoulders, is lifted, you're going to tilt your head backward so that the crown of your head can then slowly come down and rest on the mat. It's as if you were creating a gentle arch in the upper back. This is an example of a fish jumping out of a lake. Your toes represent the fish's fins, bottom fins. Your elbows represent the side fins. And you've leapt out of the ocean, returning in with your fish head first. This position, Matsyasana, is a heart opener and brings up a lot of air into our lungs, as our lungs are opened in this position. And to come out of this position, once again, you have to press into your elbows to take the pressure off your head. Then lift your head up and slowly lower your entire body back to the ground as we prepare for deep relaxation. Moving into the warmth and darkness and coolness of the winter months. Let your legs and your arms splay out. And begin to allow your entire body to gently relax. Using your mind to relax the body, bring your awareness into your feet, allowing your feet and your ankles, your lower legs, your knees, and your upper legs to relax and feel heavy and supported. Allow your buttocks and your hips to relax downward. Rest your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and your shoulders. Allow the backs of your hands to rest on the mat or the floor, palms facing upward. Relaxing the lower arms, elbows, upper arms and shoulders. Soften your throat. Relax your jaw, mouth, nose, eyes, and ears. Allow your face to soften and relax. And notice as your breath relaxes, how then the body relaxes, the breath softens. Without changing your breath, allow it to gently ebb and flow. And as your breath softens, allow your mind to quiet. Become a witness to the thoughts of your mind, acknowledging them, but not following them. Let them pass by as if they were raindrops or snowflakes of winter, floating downward, passing by. And as your body and your breath and your mind all quiet, you might feel a sense of peacefulness. And for a few moments, I invite you to rest in that peace and silence. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. As your awareness returns to the present moment, allow your breath to begin to deepen. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and stretch your arms as if waking up from a restful nap. Bring your knees in towards your chest, rocking gently from side to side for a gentle massage to the lower back. And then curling over to the right side for a few moments in a fetal position. Then when you're ready, coming back up into a seated position, finding the most comfortable seated position, maybe once again choosing to sit on a cushion. Tonight we're going to discuss several different breathing practices that can be used to help manage stress. And we'll talk briefly through them. The first one is sometimes called three-part breathing, or Dirghasvasam is the yogic term, with the three parts of awareness being at the collarbones, the rib cage, and the belly. So as you inhale through your nostrils, the lungs begin to expand first at the upper lungs, which is where the collarbones expand, and the ribs expand. And then if you deeply breathe in deeply enough, the belly will also expand, holding the breath for a moment. And as you exhale, let the belly come towards the spine, the rib cage comes inward and the collarbones release. So it's an inhale, hold, and an exhale. Now, as you continue this three-part breathing, Deep breath in and a slow exhalation out. See if you can let those three individual parts of the breath roll into a one long breath. Maybe inhaling for a count of 3 and exhaling for a count of 4 to slow the breath down. In the back of our throat, we can use a little bit of a constriction back there. It's a similar technique that you use when the mirror is foggy out of the bathroom and you go. This is a tightening at the back of the throat. We call this Ujjayi breath. So if you can apply Ujjayi breath on your exhalation, it will slow it down. So deep inhalation in, hold, tightening at the back of the throat as you exhale through your nostrils, slowly releasing. 3-part long, deep breaths. With your next exhalation, let that breath release, finding your normal rhythm. That we're going to practice tonight is called alternate nostril breathing, which has the effect of calming both the right and left hemispheres of the brain. So the simplest way to teach this is to take a right hand and make an L shape. In the yoga communities, they may also recommend a Vishnu mudra, which is bringing your index finger and middle finger together so that the ring finger sticks out. And then you would use the thumb and the ring finger to do the closing off the nostril. But for tonight's purposes, let's create the L shape. Bring the palm towards your face. So now you're going to use your thumb and your index finger to do the closing and releasing. Inhale with a deep breath, close off the right nostril with your thumb and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, close off with your index finger, release the thumb and exhale through the right. Inhale, switch the fingers and exhale to the left. Inhale, switch the fingers and exhale to the right. This time, inhale for the count of 4 and exhale to a count of 5, slowing the exhalation down. Bring your focus or your concentration onto counting the breaths. If you find this amount of breath retention easy, see if you can challenge yourself a little bit deeper, perhaps inhaling to a count of 6 and exhaling to a count of 8. Never exceeding the ratio of 10 to 20. And then without any hurry, the next time you exhale from your right nostril, taking time to finish the round, allow both hands to return to your lap. Once again, check your posture. The spine is long and erect, the shoulders are relaxed, chin slightly tilted. Close your eyes and bring your awareness within. As we move into meditation, the first thing we do is to bring awareness to the 5 senses and begin to withdraw from those 5 senses. And this is called pratyahara. We're going to begin with a sense of touch. So notice where your body is connected to the mat, where your hands are touching. Become aware of where the body is touching and where it's not touching. And then release the sense of touch. Next, bring awareness to your mouth. Open your mouth and run your tongue along your lips, noticing the moisture and maybe taste in your mouth. And then close your mouth and let your lips and your tongue be soft and relaxed, letting go of the sense of taste. Bringing your awareness now to your nostrils, breathing in and breathing out. Noticing any smells outside of your home, or maybe flowers or food cooking in your house. And then letting go of that sense of smell. Bringing your awareness now to your eyes. If your eyes are open at this time, close your eyes or soften your gaze, reducing the amount of input that is perceived by our eyes, withdrawing from the sense of sight, then bringing your awareness to your ears, noticing sounds outside of your house. Maybe the lawn is being mowed or cars passing by. And then shift your awareness inside of your house. Perhaps you can hear the subtle stepping of a pet or the clicking of a clock. Then you bring your awareness even closer internally. Maybe you can hear the sound of your breath or the beat of your heart, withdrawing from this sense as well. And once we've withdrawn from our senses, we're going to begin to concentrate on a particular item. Tonight, I invite you to notice your breath. So bring your concentration on the long inhalation and exhalation of your breath. Focusing, concentrating, being a witness as you observe the breath moving in and out. And then I invite you to go even a little bit deeper. And that's then to begin to notice any inner intuitions, any emotions that you might be feeling. And taking a moment to acknowledge what might be arising. And if it is a thought or emotion that needs to be dealt with, make a mental note that it is something you will explore later tonight or tomorrow, perhaps by journaling or having a conversation with a loved one. But for now, allow that to be set aside. Just acknowledging that something needs to be addressed and then setting aside is a step towards resolving an inner conflict or an external conflict. And then moving a little bit more deeply, touching base with the part of you that is whole, that is loved, that is loving, and at peace. As we sit in meditation, the mind will wander. As the nature of the mind is that of the ego that says, I'm here, pay attention. And when that voice or that knowledge becomes apparent, shift your awareness back to your point of focus. In this case, we're focusing on the breath. And once again, allow your awareness to control your thoughts Acknowledge them. Let them go without judgment and begin to move in towards a peaceful feeling. Our goal in meditation is not to feel empty without thought, but rather to increase our sense of awareness into what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and how that aligns with our internal beliefs. The longer that we take practicing meditation on a daily basis, the more aware we become truer to our true nature, aligned with our true values, and then respond in a way that reflects our true values. So for the next few moments, I'll remain quiet, allowing you to move through this pattern of awareness and letting go. Release this meditation. Bring your palms together in front of your heart space. Take a moment to bow down to yourself with your head coming as low or lower than your heart, trusting the inner teacher within yourself. And then as you rise up, perhaps you can acknowledge the others that have been with us in this class. Namaste.